Welcome to The Stuff, the podcast where you and I literally talk about what else? Stuff. This is your Comedic Escapades podcast show, and I'm your host, Ian Walker. Now, let's go talk about some stuff. So where have I been? Where have I been? Where has the stuff been? Where has this stuff been? I have been regrouping, gathering my thoughts, trying to create a direction as far as where I want to go, what I want to do, whether or not to continue the podcast, creating new things, creating art, so many things. And I've been preparing for an art show. As of late, been preparing for an art show that I'm going to be doing. That's actually more specifically a comic book convention out in the Salinas Valley. So Salinas Valley Comic Con is going to be coming to town December 16th and 17th. I will be at that show showcasing my cartoon art and comic art. I'm not going to be showcasing too much my Afrocentric artwork. Last couple shows back, I talked about the different types of art that I did. This particular comic book convention focuses mostly on cartoons and comics, so that's the kind of art I'm going to be displaying there. And I've been working on that a lot lately. As far as the podcast show goes, again, I was debating as to whether or not I should continue that because I've had some positive feedback. I've had negative feedback. And unfortunately, sometimes the way I am, the negative feedback has put a lot of weight on me. I tend to focus on that more. And certain people's opinions about the show kind of got to me, to be quite honest. So it was kind of discouraging. And but I decided to just say, you know what? I'm not going to let the negativity get to me. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing what I actually have grown to love doing, despite what people think. If they don't like it, they don't want to listen to it, they don't have to. And what their opinion of me or what my show is and all of that is really none of my business. So I'm going to keep on doing that. And so for the people that have been asking about the stuff and where it has gone, if it's coming back, I really appreciate it. And just letting you guys know that this show is for you guys that really care about it. And so with that said, one of the things that I'm been considering as far as format, try to keep things different and keep things fresh for the show. One of the things I'm going to be doing are interviews. Until I'm popular enough to be able to go in person and get interviews, I'm probably going to be doing pre-recorded interviews with certain people regarding certain topics, and I will be putting those on the show. So next week is going to be, hopefully, will be the first of those, and you'll hear that. Another thing that I was considering doing, and maybe you guys can give me your feedback on this to see if it's something that you guys would be interested in, and I talked about it last a few shows back again, was doing a live recorded show. Since I put this up on YouTube, I thought it might be a good idea to actually do some shows every once in a while, maybe like once a month, every 2 months, of me recording the podcast, doing it live, and doing it there. So then you guys can see the face behind the stuff. Then you guys can let me know whether I should keep the face hidden or if you guys enjoy the live shows. I would like to know what you guys think of that. I think it would be something cool, maybe to try at least once, and then if the reaction is good for it, then then I'll do them every month, at least once a month, and then go from there. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have other ideas that you think might be cool for the stuff to make it, because I do want to make the show interactive. I do want you guys involved in the creation and the content of the show as well. So, that would be wonderful. Another thing too that I want to throw out there, I am looking for someone that will be interested. It'll be kind of like an intern thing, not gonna lie, because I ain't got tons of money. but someone that'd be interested in controlling the social media aspect of the Stuff podcast show. Putting up all the content on the Instagram, and eventually maybe doing a Facebook group or something like that. But doing the social media for the Stuff podcast show, because I do want to grow the audience, and eventually I want to create a team. And this team will be responsible for getting the word out, talking more about the stuff, getting people engaged, getting people involved, going out live and doing, some video stuff. Because eventually I would like to evolve this stuff into something bigger, like a filmed, show. So I figured I'd start out with a live recorded show, podcast show. But then if it can become something bigger, I think that would be great. But the best way to do that is, I think, to have a team that would be willing to help me in that endeavor. So again, if that's something you might be interested in doing for fun, again, to be an intern type thing, let me know. Shoot me an email, thestuffpodcastshow@gmail.com, or leave me a message on the Instagram page at the Stuff Podcast. Anyways, that's where I have been. And this season, as I'm going to call it, yes, I'm going to call it a season, because I took a long 3-month break. And like on TV, it takes about 3 months for TV to come back. But so this season, I have a lot of episodes planned. I have a lot of subjects I want to talk about. This is an escapist podcast show. However, there are subjects and things that I do want to talk about, and that may be of a serious nature, may be a bit of a controversial nature as well. Next week's show is an example of that. I'm going to be asking questions that people are going to be like, what? But the thing is, we talk about stuff. And stuff includes stuff that is of a serious nature and of serious tone at times as well. Got to be fun. I want to throw some fun into it, but at times there are certain things that are serious, and I think it's good to talk about it. Makes it a more well-rounded show. Before, I think I kind of avoided the serious stuff only because I don't know if it was I didn't know how to approach it, or felt that it would be too serious. But you know what? If I have a podcast show called The Stuff, the things that I talk about need to be broad. Now, the things I still will not talk about, religion and politics, that's just off the table. That's just never going to happen. But everything else, yeah, let's go for it. Let's talk about it. And so one of the things that I want to talk about in this episode is on life-changing learning experiences. Now, when I put a post up on my Instagram page on the Stuff Podcast show, and had to stop recording for a second. I asked a question about a life-changing event that happened in your life, or a life lesson that changed your life. And one of the things that one of my listeners, her name is New Blue Moon Callie, and she gave me an answer of one that really was pretty cool. She mentioned it wasn't exactly a life-changing event, but just meditating on how I want everything to be perfect, people, places, and things to be perfect, but realizing that living in reality, not everything can be perfect, and dealing with that. I think that that first off, that was an awesome comment, because I can relate to that most definitely. I have a habit of the way I treat people. I expect people to treat me the exact same way. So I try to be forgiving. I try to be very understanding of people. When people make mistakes, I may be upset, but I don't hold it against them. I don't treat them differently. I don't cut them off unless it's absolutely necessary, or if it's damaging to my well-being, my development, or, to me as a person. So I expect people to treat me the exact same way back. And I get disappointed with that all the time. I get cut off, all the time. I'll make a mistake. People will hold it against me, or people will form an opinion of me, or something like that, and they'll cut me off and gone. And it sucks and it hurts and it's bad. But that is the reality. Or like I said, or I'll treat someone with respect and be nice to them and do certain things for them. And I'll expect that in return because, you're raised that way. It's like, nope, doesn't work that way, buddy. Doesn't work that way. So with New Blue Moon Callie's, comment, realism is in fact the thing that we've all got to face, especially when we expect certain things in a certain way. And you have to deal with things the way that they are a lot of times. And so, that way when disappointments do happen, it's like, well, this is what was expected. This is what's happened. Guess you just got to move on. The most important thing I've come to realize, though, and try to remember is that even though people may treat you a certain way, it is very important that you do not give that back to them. Even though it might be deserved. There's a lot of times when things might be deserved. Now there's, and again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect at doing that, because when it comes to stupidity or people that say or do stupid things, I have the hardest time not chucking that back and calling them out on it or doing that. That's my one thing where I'm kind of not, I need more training in that aspect. I need more patience in that regard. But in general, if someone treats me like crap or, treats me a certain way, I don't give that back. I don't wish them ill will. In fact, I wish them much success. And if doing something to me or treating me in a certain way is going to help them in some way, even though it might not be the best thing in my eyes, it might be for them. So, more power to them, and again, what they say or what they feel or all of those things in regards to me isn't any of my business, because 9 times out of 10, it's not true, one. And number 2, their perception is going to be a lot different than anyone else who views you that way. Again, unless what you're doing is causing any kind of harm, or what you say to people causes harm in any kind of way, like legitimate harm where the consensus will agree that's a harmful thing, what that person thinks is, well, again, none of your business. I've had to learn that. How people treat us that's just how it is, unfortunately. And being real in a world where we expect certain things to be a certain way is rough, but that's just the reality of it all. Another life-changing experience for me, again, just having people in your life, again, related to what I just talked about, me personally, having people in your life and them staying and leaving, that's been rough for me, because I'm the type of person where someone comes into your life, you want them to stay, and you do everything you can in your life and all your power to make them stay around, because especially if that person means a lot to you, whether it be just simple friendship, whether it be, whether a past relationship, whatever the case is, you want there to be there for a reason. But one of the things I've had to learn is that people come and go for a reason. It's hard to accept too. I don't like it, but people come and go for a reason. They teach you things about yourself mostly, and how you take that, and how you learn from that, if you decide to or not, is why, most of the time, most people are there. Not everyone is going to be a support system. Not everyone is going to be behind you. Not everyone is going to be in your corner. Not everyone is going to support you. And that's where you've got to learn to pick and choose and select who you want to stay and who you want gone and all of that. And then also too, dealing with the decisions of others who decide to cut you out of their life, whether warranted or not, dealing with that as well. So anyways, that's something for me. Another aspect too, that is important as well, that I like to talk about, is the life in general, the life that we want and that we desire. versus the life that we currently have. Again, related to the realism that New Blue Moon Cali talked about, especially in the world that we live in, where everything is very self-centered, everything is very me-centric. And then on the flip side, where you have the type of world where it's hard to make a living, hard to get a good job and maintain a good job with the people that you're with, trying to create a good environment, trying to maintain yourself and who you are. Yet at the same time, if you're the type of person that has goals and dreams and things that you want to accomplish, it's hard to do that when you have the flip side of either the negative energy of people that say, nah, that's not going to work because, that's not going to make you enough money. Or that's not realistic because you can't take care of what you need or your family or whatever it may be. So you shouldn't be pursuing that. You should just get a regular job like everyone else and pursue that. And that's definite. That's that's solid, which might be true in a lot of ways. It is. But are you happy? And living life is not supposed to be just being a lemming, which is, waking up every single day, going to work every single day to a job that most of us don't like. If you have a job that you love, then that's great. You're doing what you want to do, what you love to do. But most of us are doing the things that we don't want to do. I know I'm doing something I don't want to do right now, but I'm using it as a catalyst to get to a point where I can do more of the things that I love to do and make a living out of it and do that. And that's probably the reason why, on a personal level, why I'm not with anybody right now, because they don't understand it. They don't believe in it. They don't support it. And that's okay. When I find that person that does, then guess what? I'll be with that person. Choo. But it's important to do that by creating the life that we desire versus the life that we have. And I'm finding it's hard to strike that balance. And do you guys find it hard to strike that balance as well? Is that something that you guys have a hard time with? What is balance for you guys? What do you guys do to balance having the life that you currently have versus the life that you desire? What are you doing to achieve the life that you desire? Any of those tips, any of those things, I'd love to hear them. And tell me, what are some of the things that you'd like to do, whether it be art, whether it be music, whether it be photography, whatever it is that you do. I want to hear it. I want to see what you're doing to balance it, if you're balancing it, or what you've done to achieve that life that you want. And I'm not talking about that, superficial social media life either. I'm traveling the world and I've got cars and women and stop. Okay, stop. Everybody knows that's fake. Everybody knows that you went to the bank and just rented $100 bills for the day to just act like you're spending. I'm talking about, in the realism world, what you're doing to build in the life that you would like to have. What path are you taking? I want to know that. I want to know what that is. And what you guys think of this particular subject of life-changing experiences and things like that. Okay, so leave comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, leave your comments below and let me know. Okay, if you're watching on SoundCloud or listening on SoundCloud or on Stitcher, go ahead and shoot me an email, the stuff podcast show at gmail.com. Let me know, because I really want to know. Again, this is something that I like to revisit certain subjects, and that's because they're always changing. They're always ever evolving, and you're always going to get differing opinions, and you're always going to get things from different people. So I like to know what those are. Okay. So, wow, I talked about this for almost 20 minutes. See that stuff. So the next part I want to talk about is something that's now we're going to go away from less serious. My third segment, I have a day job where I work at a fast food restaurant. And first off, before I even start this, I want to issue an apology to anyone that works in fast food, any fast food drive-thru that I've been to before I started working here, for my obnoxious behavior as a child, and to my boy David, whose pet peeve it was for us to act like morons at the drive-thru window. I'll never forget one time, me, my friend David, and my other friend Nick, we all went to a Burger King drive-thru in town. And immediately, as soon as David drove up to the drive-thru, Nick and I started being obnoxious, making stupid noises, being dumb. It drove David up the wall because one, it was rude and disrespectful. Number two, the guy who was taking the order, trying to take the order, couldn't hear us because me and Nick were back in the back seat yelping, hooting, and hollering. So first off, I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. All right. I ain't gonna do that again. The reason why I apologize is because going into this next segment, working at a fast food restaurant, I work in the drive-thru. And one of my biggest things is I have a question. When you guys go somewhere, okay, to eat, is it just me, or should you already kind of know what you're going to eat when you go to the drive-thru? Do people not understand that a drive-thru is meant for quick and fast service? You do it so that you don't have to go inside, right? So that you don't have to wait. So if that's the case, why are you going to the drive-thru looking at the menu, spending 15 minutes there not knowing what you want, and then sit there acting like there's no one else behind you waiting? Why do you do that? Why does that happen? Okay? Help me to understand this. Okay? Another thing too, how you going to come up to come to a restaurant for over 15 years? Okay? You know what they serve at the restaurant. You go there all the time. For example, you go to Taco Bell and then you ask if they have onion rings. You've been going to Taco Bell 15 years. Why are you going to ask if they have onion? You know full well they don't got no dang onion rings. Okay, so why are you going to ask if we got onion rings? Some person came to the window where I worked at and said, "Do you guys have hot dogs?" I almost lost it. Hot dogs? We ain't no Wiener Schnitzel, okay? Wiener Schnitzel this is not Wiener Schnitzel, this is Wendy's. Or, you guys have curly fries? Wendy's ain't had curly fries since never. Okay, this ain't Jack in the Box. And I'll tell them where to go to get that stuff. I'll be like, do you guys have curly fries? No, this isn't Jack in the Box. Okay? No, we don't have that. You guys have onion rings? No. This isn't Burger King. Okay? This isn't Burger King. We don't have those here. No, we don't. Okay? That bugs the crap out of me. It really gets on my nerves. So that's a few shenanigans. But you know what? I may be having this tangent without a true understanding. So what I want you guys to do, help me to understand. Help me to understand. Because when I go to a drive-thru place, okay, I have an idea of what I want. Now, if I'm taking more than 30 seconds at the menu part, it's because either I see something new, okay, or I change my mind really quick and then have another idea of what I want right away. And I see it and it's like, oh, what was the name of that? So I don't sound like an idiot saying the wrong thing and it's not what it is. Thus confusing everybody who works there and then, making myself look like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But it's very quick because I understand I'm at a drive-thru. I need to hurry the heck up. And there's people behind me that are trying to do the same thing. Okay? I don't own the place and I'm not entitled. So I don't give an order like that too. And I say please and thank you. It's an unwritten rule. Don't treat the person that's handling your food like a jerk. Don't be a jerk to that person. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? We handle your food. Now, fortunately, I'm a Christian. Okay? I love God. Okay? So I'm never, ever, ever going to do anything to anybody's food. That's just wrong and evil. Okay? But there are some people out there, ladies and gentlemen, who don't care. Okay? And if you treat them like crap, they will spit in your food. They will do all kinds of stuff. So look, just treat people with respect. And that's all it comes down to. Respect. Okay? You do that. Another thing, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, come to the drive-thru, and as soon as you walk into the drive, hello, you start yelling at the window. Okay, give us time to recognize that you got there. Okay, please, and don't do this. Hello, hi, how can we help you? Hold on a second. Wait. First off, you came up there because you were wondering if we were there. Is saying hello is that security? Is that like help me to understand, people? Help me to understand. Is that something where you're like, okay, this is security for me because I want to know that someone is there on the other side. Is that what that is? If it is, cut it out. There's someone going to be there. If the store's open, somebody's there. Believe me. Okay? They're there. They're waiting for you to take the order. Don't go, hello, and then make me wait a minute. And then take 5 minutes to decide for what you want. You should already know what you want when you get there. People, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. There's other drive-thru stuff I'm going to talk about. Okay, like talking on your phone, coming up to the drive-thru, talking on your phone, and then getting mad when we don't say hello, how can we help you right away? You're on the phone. I'm waiting for you to finish your conversation first. You shouldn't be on the phone in the first place in your car, number one. Number two, you shouldn't be on your phone at a drive-thru, okay? Don't do that. Terrible, okay? Foul. Don't do that. Another thing, don't be smoking. You come into a restaurant. Don't be coming up over here smoking or hotboxing in your car, before, so that we get a waft of stinking cigarette smoke or marijuana smoke up in here. I don't want to get a contact high. Okay? I don't want a contact high. I don't want that. I said no to drugs for a reason. I don't need you. I'm just here trying to cook burgers. I didn't come here to cook burgers and get high. That's not what I do. Or get cigarette smoke and get secondhand smoke and cancer. I didn't sign up for that. And it's nasty. You don't come up to a restaurant and it smells like smoke. Now that's spread all over the store. It's no bueno. Okay? Gosh. Anyways, I'm going to stop right now. Rant over, people. That was my shenanigan rant pet peeve for this week. Okay? I'm probably not going to do another one for a while until I run into something else. But had to get that off my chest. That actually kind of felt good. Anyways, that's it for this week of this stuff. I want to try to go ahead and do this show in one take and just talk, because I felt that's more personable and it's less mechanical. I listened to my other episodes before and I noticed there's huge cuts, and it just wasn't very interactive. And one of the things I want to do is have a more interactive show and make it more personable, like we're having a conversation, sort of, unless I'm ranting like I just did, and do that. If you like that, awesome. Let me know. I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank everyone for being so patient. For those of you who have asked where the stuff is, and for those of you who have stuck around and been patient and waiting, I thank you very much. The show again is for you. Please spread the word. Tell other people about it. I love to hear people, other opinions and things about it. And give me your ideas as well. Okay? Shoot me an email, thestuffpodcastshow@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at thestuffpodcast. And leave me your comments, your feedback, your thanks, all of that. I give you guys most thanks. And again, I am looking for a social media person for the stuff. Again, intern status. But if you're down, if you're interested, if it's something you might be interested in, let me know. I'd love the help. This will be the beginning of my street team to make the stuff even bigger than I know it can be. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to shut it down. I will catch you guys next Monday on the stuff. Thanks so much, guys. You take care.